we have made a severe and continuous lapse in our judgment. We don't expect to be forgiven. We're just simply here to apologize and mess shit up for creators even more. Look what's at the door! The COPPAs are here! YouTube has a problem. And people might say, when has YouTube ever not had a problem? But, this one's a little bit more serious. So if you don't know about what I'm gonna be talking about, sorry if I come across as this video is supposed to be serious, but apparently I just can't talk seriously. Because literally, in a stream yesterday, I was laughing my ass off about Susan Wojcicki, okay? I said that I wouldn't be surprised if Susan Wojcicki came over here and did the good old, we made a severe and continuous lapse in our judgment. And then I also laughed at the fact that Susan Wojcicki's name sounds like Susan on a jet ski saying whoa, okay? I literally photoshopped this. It's crazy, okay? Anyway, the whole thing about, the freaking COPPAs knocking on the door of YouTube's front door and honestly sending it's like the freaking COPPAs, the neighborhood watch and of the kidnappers, and they knocked on YouTube's door and they were like, hey, are you kidnapping these kids? And then YouTube was like, I think it was the really amazing creators that support our platform over across the street. Go get them. Okay, so the whole thing of why this is happening on January 1st of 2020, which is clearly when the freaking world is gonna end. It's gonna be the beginning of the end, people. Apparently, YouTube was doing bad stuff and freaking child mining people. Children under 13's data. Why are our creators being held responsible for what children are doing? And not even what children are doing, what the YouTube people are doing, being like, children! Apparently YouTube has been mining data to sell off to advertisers because of children specifically under 13. And you see in the App Store, like, I might be able to pull a picture here. On the App Store, on clearly all App Stores, it says that YouTube is for mature 17-plus-year-olds. Now when you go on into the upload thing of YouTube, you see you're legally required to comply with the Children's Online Privacy Protection Act, which is COPPA, which is the people that are knocking on the door, and or other laws. You're required to tell us if your videos are made for kids. Now, YouTube apparently, according to the social media lawyer that I watched the video on, Ian Corzine, like cortisone, but it's Corzine, okay? He said that YouTube automatically sorts your videos whether they're child friendly or not, and that's why the whole demonetization thing was. And let me tell you, freaking 2 months ago, we're all getting freaking whacked in the head saying, you swear? Demonetized! And now, right now, January 1st, they're gonna be like, oh, child friendly? Demonetized! YouTube is so bipolar. It could be like, hey, no swearing. It scares away advertisers, and now they're going, hey, toys, kid-friendly content also scares off advertisers and apparently brings in more authority figures. Now, not only am I blaming YouTube, but I'm also blaming the FTC. Freaking FTC, what's wrong with you? Whatever the case may be, here's my breakdown of how this has gone down. YouTube did a bad. They did something illegal. They sold children's information to advertisers. That was bad. They paid a fine for it. But then they continued to go off and just say, okay, freaking FTC, go off and just sue all of the creators. Now, ooh, when you see a lot of things on Twitter saying, oh, you get fined, $42,000 per video if it's not made for kids, blah, blah, blah. If it is made for kids, comments are turned off, all this other stuff. So for creators, it's kind of like a lose-lose situation. Whether you don't make content that's toward kids or you do make content that's towards kids, you're being batted either way, okay? Because of these, and here's the key freaking word here is vague. Vague. That's the same thing with Article 13. It's the same thing with net neutrality. It's the same thing with this right now. It's super duper vague. All the criteria about what this is about to happen is super vague. And not only that, it's ran by, like, I don't want to say it, but we're gonna walk around that sentence. It's run by old people that don't understand how the internet works, and not only what it will do to the internet, but how it just can't work. So some of the little vague guidelines, let me read them to you. Actually, I might be able to put a picture, tells us the freaking, the very specific requirements that if your video falls under these thresholds, it is made for kids. So if it has like kid themes, or it has like cartoons or color. Oh, we're just gonna have to just go, all the RGB love that we have has to go. It's child friendly, apparently. Anything that's deemed child friendly, which according to these guidelines, Rick and Morty, goddamn, is a freaking child cartoon. Another thing that I want to claim is, what happens to creators that are doing this for fun, that don't make any money off of this platform? Not only not make money, but they're not trying to make money. They're not trying to target kids, especially just all the creators aren't targeting kids. What happens to the creators that are doing this as a hobby, doing this for fun? Are they still going to get batted with these fines because even though they're not making any revenue on their content anyway? And then if that is the case, and if that is true, then it really does end up making this seem like a horrible thing, that for creators like myself who are just kind of doing this for fun, having a nice fun time with it, are ending up being and making videos on this platform is becoming all risk and no reward. Because if it's all risk because you upload a video, you don't know if you're going to get fined for this, and it's no reward because even though you're not getting paid, if you do end up saying, oh, it is for children, you don't get to interact with your audience, you don't get to see, it's not going to be searchable, people aren't going to see your video, and not only that, you worked very hard on this thing, and people aren't going to watch it, and also you can't even interact with the people that are going to watch it, okay? Which is very upsetting. Exactly, okay? If this wasn't, I have to say it wasn't for YouTube and doing clearly the illegal thing, and then dumping their faults, their breaking their terms of service, and dumping it on their creators, which isn't much of a new thing though, because, Twitch breaks its terms of service all the time. People break Twitch's terms of service all the time. They don't really seem to enforce their own rules at that point. But whatever the case may be, it seems that this is gonna hit everybody. Everything, if this law and this act was fully fleshed out, fully had each and every exception wiped out, every possible contingency was thought out properly, then it wouldn't be as horrible as it is. What's making it horrible is how vague the thing is and the steep punishments that come with it. $42,000 per video, when some creators on this platform don't even make $42,000 off their videos in a month, or even in a year, or even per video in general. Listen, I'm all for protecting children, but at the same time, isn't that their parents' job? Why am I becoming a parent? Basically, I'm becoming like a godparent to freaking 7 billion other children in this world that are under 13 and that are watching YouTube. Shouldn't that be the parents' job to be like, hey, you shouldn't be watching swearing in Roblox? No, I don't understand why I have to be an involuntary godparent. Now listen, if I'm asked to be a godparent of this child that I love, of course I'm going to be a godparent. But I don't know half these children, let alone even any of these children. I don't know any of these children, and I don't know what they're doing, and I don't know what their parents are doing that are failing to monitor what their children are watching. It's very interesting about how YouTube, I'm on here, and it says under audience select, yes, set this channel is made for kids. I always upload content that's made for kids. And no, I set this channel is not made for kids. I never upload content that's made for kids. It's a very, okay, understand that it's very yes and no. It's very binary. They want it to be binary. They want it to be either you have kid-friendly content or you don't have kid-friendly content. And apparently, if the YouTube doesn't want kid-friendly content on their thing anymore, apparently what the social media lawyer said that they're gonna purge all of the kid-friendly content off their site. That's what they agreed to, apparently. And another thing is that since it's very binary, there's so much gap between both of the choices. So choice, yes, all my content is made for children is up here, and no, my content is not made for children is all the way down here. All this empty space is all the exceptions, all the things that could be deemed, that could be questioned. Is this kid-friendly? Would this be qualified as kid-friendly? Such as things like animations. Animations are definitely going to get hit by this because it's cartoons, it's kid-friendly, when they could be talking about freaking their hardships and struggles and how they attempted some dangerous things that kids shouldn't see. And that's the same thing with educational channels. What if an educational channel is a sex ed channel and they're showing some interesting body parts in cartoon form? Is that for children under 13? It's a very wide gap in between of what is kid-friendly and what isn't kid-friendly. They're very putting these things in extremes. These are very extreme things when reality, everyone's videos are somewhere in between. They're somewhere in between kid-friendly and not kid-friendly. This change, if it does get implemented, is going to be very, very scary. And not only is it going to be very, very scary, it's going to drive tons and tons of people away. This platform no longer is going to welcome creators for their creativity and all this other stuff. It's actually going to be like, ooh, you make cartoons? You want to be an animator? Sorry, can't. Sorry. Oh, you want to do toy reviews? Oh, you're a little kid that's under 13 and is managed by your annoying, high-pitched mother? Sorry, no, sorry. This whole thing is very bipolar, and it's confusing creators, and it's actually infuriating creators to be like, what do we do? What side am I supposed to be going towards? Am I supposed to be kid-friendly? Am I supposed to be not kid-friendly? Am I supposed to be somewhere in the middle? Oh wait, I can't. I'm supposed to either say I am kid-friendly or not kid-friendly. And then when you're like, oh wait, okay, maybe I'll base these off the stipulation of what is kid-friendly. And then they're like, oh frick, kids content, toys, colorful things. The shirt I'm wearing is colorful. Is that deemed kids friendly? What is this? What am I supposed to be doing? YouTube seems to be digging its grave further and further. Susan Wojcicki just keeps digging this grave further and further on her jet ski. Okay, I'm going to be surprised if when this act is implemented, she's going to be jet skiing away. It's going to be very, 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 very hard to create content on this platform if this ends up ringing true. I've already seen some of my favorite animators, like Rubber Ninja is taking off his animations because he doesn't want to get hit by this COPPA thing. That's some videos that I wish I want to rewatch. And some other animators are also taking out their videos because they also cannot afford to be hit by one of these fines that the FTC is going to come over here and punch people in the face with. And it's the same thing. Again, I raise the question is, what happens to creators that aren't getting paid, that aren't monetizing their content? What happens to those people? What happens to those creators that are doing this as a hobby, that are trying to better their creativity and not only show their creativity and give it to somebody else, they'll not only give it to someone else, but to show it to other people? Let's get one win for the creators and for the people and for the internet, and let's not have this thing fully implemented and have this punch full force into your face, into our faces. But I hope you see a bunch of these videos and, spread it around to other people, as many people as you can, to probably hopefully get this thing fixed, or not even fixed, just, freaking more specified. Just make it better. It's It's so outdated. This thing has been implemented since like 2013. That's like 6 years ago, okay? Listen. It's good to revise things, you know? Everything has an end, even this platform. It seems that it's going towards that way, okay? Unis honest. It's not even unis honest anymore. It's like 1 month. How do we even say everything's gonna end in mensis unis, okay? Which means 1 month. We should just make a channel, okay, called mensis unis and just upload whatever the frick we want onto that channel before it's deleted, okay? I'm gonna have to move the Twitch, guys. I'm gonna have to move the Twitch. I'm gonna have to move the mixer. I don't know what happens to the videos here. It's gonna be Menyas Unis. Oh boy, okay? Anyway, subscribe to Unis Honest. But anyway, I'll see you around, guys, okay? See ya. I could be deleted. Who knows? YouTube might be stopping you from seeing this video right